When I started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, with the help of my dedicated employees, we now have hundreds of products, some you might not even know about. To get the word out, we're having a $25 extravaganza. 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. And for the first time ever, our 6-pack towel sets, you guessed it, just $25. Our brand new 4-pack dish towels, $25. And I've never done this before. Premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, even king size for only $25. And there's so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code for our $25 extravaganza. Order $75 and over. Your entire order ships absolutely free.
One of my favorite James Taylor songs.
What's wrong with James Taylor and the Velvet Hammer, huh, Michael?
There's nothing wrong with well, James Taylor's a little too liberal for me and the Velvet Hammer, but we still love his music. Good morning, Gene Valentino. How are you?
There's so many great artists whose music I love that are way too liberal for me right now.
I just ignore their politics and I listen to their music. That's what I do.
Yeah. There's a Robert De Niro and the rest of them. I just can't watch his movies anymore.
Little short guy, you know, he has to wear like platform shoes to get the same height as normal people. It's weird, but I think he's got like little man syndrome or something. Anyway, that's for another day. Look, there's a serious story out there. I want to start out with this. Houston police have arrested and charged 2 Venezuelan nationals with capital murder in the brutal strangling death of a 12-year-old girl. DHS has confirmed that suspects Johan Jose Rangel Martinez, 21, and Franklin Jose Pina Ramos, 26, both crossed the border illegally into El Paso. They were subsequently caught and released by the Border Patrol. What do you think about this?
Well, the media is going to think that this is a perpetration by Donald Trump and spin it that way. The media that reports it, by the way. The rest of them are totally ignoring the issue.
I said, how do they make it Donald Trump's fault?
Yeah, well, they've done it historically. They're still doing it even 3.5 years after he left office. But he's returning to fix it, that's for sure. This is the most, it's in your face. And what's more obvious is that the Democratic Party, putting aside Biden's incompetence and handicap and dementia, the Democrat Party and the media funded by the Democrat Party failed to bring it out. They just ignore everything. Look, we've got ourselves a situation where George Clooney and Julia Roberts put a fundraiser on the West Coast for Biden. They're bragging that they raised him $25 million. Reports show as of about an hour ago, over $140 million raised on the Republican side for President Trump. The average contributor is between $20 and $40. Millions of people have stepped up. The law of large numbers, it's called. It's not a select few elitists pushing Biden across into the limelight and propping him up, Michael. This is about we the people again, the masses stepping up now saying, hey, enough's enough. And these murders that you just brought forward, this poor 12-year-old Jocelyn Nongure being killed by 2 Venezuelan illegal immigrants, comes on the heels of this Christian Inga and Ecuadorian, then Christian Antonio Martinez related to the death of Rachel Morin. I mean, this is all now connect the dots, folks. These people in the United States, legal citizens are being killed by illegals that Joe Biden has allowed over the line and refuses to do nothing. Let me continue. It
All
was
right.
just last week, Biden authorized that if you are married to an illegal immigrant, that illegal immigrant is now to be forgiven and waived in as a legal citizen. That's over 800,000 people in that category.
Who vote?
Is that now acceptable behavior? Are we going to just sort of open the door and let them all come in? This is outrageous. And it's the beginning of a pattern. Here's another fact. 20 plus million illegal immigrants in the United States today, without dispute. 1% of them, which you'd think is a small percentage, is 200,000 people. The attacks on 9/11 to the World Trade Center and our Pentagon were perpetrated by less than 27 terrorists. 27 terrorists. Here you have, at 1%, over 200,000 illegal terrorists in the United States. And since last October, about 8 months ago, 35,000 of them are Chinese. Do you think China, with such strict border control, doesn't know about 35,000 Chinese in the United States? Wake up, America. It's time to arm up and suit up to protect this nation. And I don't say that lightly, because it's going to be on you and me helping our local law enforcement officials. We're going to be deputized, we'll have to be, to help them exercise a defense plan to protect us. And by the way, it's now back in the vocabulary, an offensive counter strike to take these people back to the border or kill them if they're putting your family and mine at risk.
Well, I'll tell you, it seems to me that this country is in a very bad way right now. It seems to me that the people that are running this country, that are in charge right now, have no concern whatsoever people, and it's really scary actually to think about what is going on. And we don't know who else has come across that border. We don't know if these Chinese nationals are really spies and they're getting themselves in position to do something for the Chinese government. We don't know that the Venezuelans that have come here, are they really people that were in jail that Venezuela let loose and sent them here to rape and to kill, which is actually what we just saw the last couple of days.
And for some of my critical opponents in the media who sometimes challenge me as well with my opinion, this is not a racist comment. This is a statement of fact based on the data that shows who's coming. Now, here's another statement that is not racist. China owns over 350,000 acres of land. Over 60% of that land is in and around government military establishments. Now, are we going to sit there and let that happen? Would you think that China would let us do that in their nation? This is outrageous.
I laugh, Gene, because you and I both know that you or me, neither one of us, even together, could buy property in China. It is not possible.
Of course not. Of course not. Meanwhile, we're talking in the news, another distraction about Jacked Up Joe, which will backfire at the debate coming up on the 27th, next week. And I just don't get it, folks. The Democrats are running a guy for president of the United States. Read the 25th Amendment. Joe Biden's not well. There's 7 stages of dementia, and he's at least step number 4 in that scale. It's sad. They shouldn't be doing that. It's elderly abuse. And I don't understand why Jill Biden, his wife, has not stepped up to suggest he pull away from the campaign. All other political issues aside of who would come in after Biden is a secondary point on the Democrat side. It's elderly abuse at this point. And that no wonder Trump agreed to all the terms of a debate. He's got to sit down. He's got to have mics closed. He's got to have breaks every 30 minutes within the 90-minute session. This is a staged event to make. And now here Biden disappears to Camp David for a full week for prepping. I'll bet you Trump goes into that debate with 5 minutes of notes before showtime.
Yeah, Donald Trump doesn't need a lot of time for his. He knows what he wants to say. He knows what the problems are in this country, and he is willing to sit down and talk about it in front of a live camera, in front of a live audience, in front of millions of Americans that will be watching this. He has no hesitation in doing that. But Joe Biden has got to prepare. They've got to get together. And look, you and I both know. I mean, there's no proof of this, right? But there's some kind of concoction that they're giving Joe Biden in these debates and in these public speeches like the State of the Union that is making this guy sort of come alive. And he may actually do well in the debate because of this. But the truth is we all know that he is in decline. And it's sad to see a man in decline. Because, look, let's face it, it could happen to any of us. And so we all look at it. But, the interesting thing is you don't need to be a trained professional to see what's going on with Joe Biden. Because even a small child can see that this guy is just losing his cognitive ability. They all understand this. All of us understand what's going on here. But yet they keep pushing this guy.
They keep pushing it because they know he's their tool. He's their victim, and he's their tool to promote the hidden agenda less obvious to you and I. Here's my concoction. It's a coffee in the morning. That's all you get out of me for a stimulant. But I don't know what kind of, exactly. But I don't know what kind of brew he's taking. Meanwhile, the big issue, wages are down, costs are up. The irony is Donald Trump is winning big time in the swing states. He didn't win it all 4 years ago. He's winning big time on the 6 or 7 swing states and campaigning in those states, which I failed to mention before, while Biden continues to hide away. If the American people don't see that this is the perpetration of a deep state fraud against all of us, then we get what we deserve.
We do. And if you look around and you see what's going on in this country right now, there's so many businesses that are closing their doors. There's so many places where, we're laying people off. I mean, 100,000 tech workers have been laid off in the beginning of 2024. That is a big rising trend.
Yeah, they'll tell you, Michael, that jobs are up. Well, jobs are up amongst the illegal immigrants that took your job and my job. Meanwhile, 58% of the people out there disapprove of Biden's economy. 62% disapprove of Biden's inflation. 63% definitely disapprove of Biden's immigration policy. And regarding the Israeli-Hamas war, 63% disapprove. Only 32% think that Biden's doing a good job or excellent job with the economy. 68% disapprove and say it's only fair or poor. These numbers work substantially in Trump's favor and against Biden. And the magic question for the day is, what will the Democrats do to perpetrate another fraud in the next election? Will it be at those voting booths?
We're all worried about. Yeah, we're all worried about that. That's what we're worried about, because we know that they are going to cheat, because that's what they do, right? And so we just got to keep our eyes open. Gene, we're out of time, unfortunately, but thank you so much for joining us, as you do every Friday. You have a great weekend, brother.
Grabbing my coffee and listening to the morning sunshine at the Pine Belt. Michael Pohl and Ted Teplin.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever.
For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great.
With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.